Like, what would you think? Like
Annabelle.
like Annabelle.
All right, that's fair.
Or like
Conjuring.
like Insidious, maybe.
Oh yeah, Insidious maybe.
Okay.
I think I remember watching that with my sister and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
9.
Yeah. Hey, at least I'm not outnumbered today. Like, you know, I'm usually the young dude around a bunch of old guys. So like now we're like,
Oh, whoa.
we're equal here. Like,
We're
we're
old guys.
bro.
I'm drinking
watched-
apple juice.
I watched, you guys know who Patrick Stewart is? Do you know who Patrick Stewart is? Remember Star Trek, the guy that had like he was bald.
No.
You're so young.
Not
I don't
helping
even
our
know
cause.
Did you see X-Men, the movies?
No. I'm very uncultured when it comes to movies.
I don't know.
won't.
I don't know how to explain Patrick Stewart now. So I think we're just out of luck.
Maybe if you
Anyway.
show me a picture, but I don't really.
I actually have a picture right here.
He's the original meme. If she recognizes this,
She knows the
this
meme.
will be impressive.
It's the facepalm
People
meme.
will all. Oh.
That's
like
him.
the original face.
But that's Patrick Stewart. Like he looks really weird right here. So.
I have no idea who that
He
is.
always looks like that.
No, this guy he's 39, and I was
Why
trying.
did you show that?
They showed a camera.
Because that was the picture I had.
You just okay. Yeah.
That was the one I sent it
know.
to my brother this morning, and I was like, yikes, he was 39, dude. Jason's already like 40 something. So
Yeah, Jason is old.
yeah, Ryan turns 40 this year. Dang. I'm the youngest of 3.
How old? I know that you're not supposed to ask me how old they are.
I'm 35.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I'm
You gotta make him
right at
old.
the edge. Like I'm starting to get to that point where everybody's going to think I'm old.
Yeah.
Like you probably do because you're 23 or 22.
I think
So-
everyone's old.
That's how it is until you get old. You know?
Yeah, until
Yeah.
you're 28, everyone is old, actually.
Yeah, it's really. I think you become an adult at like 26, 27. Like to be
Mm.
completely honest.
I give it 28.
You think so?
It's
I
hard
have a
cut
couple.
off.
I have like 6 years.
I had 3 kids when I was 26 though. So maybe that
All
was
at the
it.
same time.
Well, they a couple years apart. They weren't triplets. I had already my first
That
one
would
was
be impressive.
I was 21 when I had my first one.
Okay.
So, like, what at what age cutoff do you find like old?
Yeah, when do you
Like
when do
like when's
Yeah, like
40.
40.
Okay.
I feel
I
like
agree.
you start getting older at 40.
Absolutely. Now everything's changed so much because of how people take care of themselves these days that people don't
Right.
look bad at 40. Like you don't look bad 40, 50, 60, you can look pretty good. But I would agree. 40s when you're starting to hit that hill of, you're getting there, you're getting old.
I just think 40s too because like my sister was in high school whenever my parents were in their 40s.
Okay.
But when I was in high school, my parents were in their late 40s. My dad was 50 when I was
Yeah.
in high school.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it depends on how old your parents are, really. Because I had
Yeah.
old parents.
Yeah, you had old parents.
I had
Yeah.
old parents too. My mom had me when she was 32.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think my dad had me when I was like 34. He was like
Yeah.
34.
Dang.
Got old parents.
I don't know. I feel like our generation, like old parents, a lot more prominent than your guys' generation. Like I don't know. Like I feel like for our generation,
Probably.
our parents dreaded like having kids so much.
Yeah,
that-
I was definitely not supposed to happen.
Yeah,
You're a blessing.
Yeah.
I guess if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, that's my first one. He's here now.
yeah.
awesome.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna act like.
Started everything off for me.
Yeah, I'm
Once
not-
you have one, you're kind of like, all right, let's have 2.
Yeah, I'm
All
not
right,
gonna
let's
act
have
like. I'm not gonna act like I meant to have a kid at 22.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend that was.
No, that was not the
That
plan.
was not the plan.
Yeah, I'm not gonna act like that was the plan.
That was not the plan, but worked out great.
Happens.
Yeah. So wouldn't change.
Life happens.
Yeah. So it was a crazy ride.
So, your do you have any like food places that are just your no go tos, like ever? Like like for example, do you have any, John?
Absolutely. I will never go to Taco Bell.
Oh, never go to, never eat at again.
Yeah,
I think
never.
you guys were just talking about McDonald's. I do like their breakfast.
Yeah,
Oh,
McDonald's
the
breakfast.
breakfast.
just
That's
because
universal.
that's a staple. You can never mess up breakfast there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
McDonald's, as far as lunch or the
Really?
chicken nuggets, I'm sorry, if
Okay.
I've bitten into one and it's just like you get a piece that's
It's
like
not real. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's totally real. They just they mush it
It's
up
like
into
the
like
Chipotle-
goo and then cook it.
The Chipotle bite. You know what I mean? If you get the chicken at Chipotle,
Yeah, and
you
it's
get
the
that
gross-
one
that one
bite.
gross piece.
There's always
You're
one.
done. And I'm just like,
That's why McDonald's makes it into the slime first, so there's no
Yeah,
pieces like
I'm not
that.
gonna
Then they
lie.
just put it together into the shape of nuggets.
no, you
and
get a
deep fry.
piece. I've gotten a piece.
You've gotten a piece before.
Where it's just
I'm not a
slime
big-
didn't work all 100%.
I'm not a big nugget guy. My kids get the nuggets all the time though, and they love McDonald's.
Yeah.
So
Burger King. I don't know what it is about Burger King. Maybe just the aesthetic of it.
it's
But that's a
it's-
no.
You want to know what it is?
Just
What?
It's for poor people.
wow.
Burger King's for
Oh.
poor people.
Wow. Controversy.
All right.
Just saying. That's no lie. It's for poor people. That's Burger King. That's what it is.
I mean, I just don't like the food. I'm not
That's
gonna
why.
lie. Like,
That's
when-
why.
I remember
That's
when they
why
had,
you
like,
like the
It's
food.
cheap. It is cheap.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
chicken fingers.
Like when you can get like 20 nuggets for like $2-3.
Yeah, dude.
It's food for poor people, and they're not going to make high quality food
Yeah.
when it's for poor people.
Okay, you have a
Dude.
good
So-
point. I guess I never thought about it like that. But
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with saying that they're targeting poor people. Like somebody has to target the poor people.
Oh, I
Give
don't
them-
think-
give them a
yeah.
fast food option.
When I was
That's-
broke in
that's-
college, I
yeah.
ate Burger King.
Yeah, that's fair.
find all the rich people eating at Burger King. They just don't do it because it's Burger King. So
I guess I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
But the fries just remind me of cardboard. Like,
Yeah,
there's no flavor.
they had chicken fries. I remember thinking like chickens don't have
they shouldn't be in fries.
Like, yeah,
but,
that's not a
No.
it's not a good form of chicken. It's
whatever.
not white meat.
It's just a strip. It's like a chicken strip.
What
Yeah.
about fast food places that are underrated that like
Underrated?
people sleep on?
Dude, I think Wendy's pound for pound is the best fast
Really?
food place out there.
I do like Wendy's. I'm gonna keep going back to chicken nuggets.
But
they got-
that's a good
You think
spot.
those are the best chicken
Those
nuggets?
are the best chicken nuggets.
Are you kidding?
Oh.
Well,
Have you
it-
tried the Chick-fil-A chicken?
Okay,
nuggets?
besides
Okay,
Chick-fil-A.
all right.
That doesn't count.
Chick-fil-A
I was about to
is like-
say,
If you're gonna say
Thank
Burger
you.
King is a
Thank
poor
you.
fast food, then
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A is
Is
for
the
the
rich-
rich.
yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Chick-fil-A is like $13, bro.
But if Chick-fil-A dominates
there
the
a
fast
lot.
food industry, profitability, revenue,
Yeah.
things like that,
I
Chick-fil-A is
think
dominant.
Chick-fil-A needs to be in their own category.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
I'd
can't-
like Chick-fil-A and Chipotle.
I feel like there's
Yes.
echelons.
Chick-fil-A is the one that you just don't feel as bad about yourself eating.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, what's better, Qdoba or Chick-fil-A?
Qdoba or Chick-fil-A? That's
See,
Wait. How do you say Qdoba?
I say Qdoba.
Qdoba.
Is it Qdoba?
Qdoba. I don't know.
I don't
Who
actually know
knows?
either. Qdoba?
yeah, I think it's Qdoba.
Quadoba?
Qdoba.
I know
don't
it's not that.
It's
I don't know.
not.
When I go to
There's no you.
Qdoba, the only time I eat Qdoba is whenever I'm on the highway going to Colorado and I stop in, what is it?
It's
like
like
Colby.
Hayes.
It's
It's Colby. Is it Colby or
It's
Hayes?
I go to Colby. It's the Oasis. On
I
the
get the
plane.
chicken.
like right across from
Yep.
the gas
Yeah.
station.
The Oasis. Yep.
The
The
only-
Oasis on the plane.
That's they have palm trees. It's great. If you've
Yeah,
been
It's
there,
funny. No, but the only reason I think Qdoba
I don't
is-
actually know how to say.
Qdoba is better is they have pickled onions. Chipotle does
Really?
not have pickled onions.
Okay,
That's fair.
that's what changes.
That's
it
what
for
changes it for me.
You. I don't like the flavor of their chicken as much as I like the flavor of the
Mm.
chicken at Chipotle. So that's my only difference.
Yeah, the meat's definitely.
Are we
the same.
talking old Chipotle or like new Chipotle? Because like old Chipotle, you can't compete with. Like 2014, 2015 Chipotle, that's different than like
Yeah,
today's
It's
Chipotle.
gotta be
Undeniably
different.
true.
Yeah.
it's definitely different because it's not the same.
It doesn't hit the same. Like I'm telling you, like I remember
You wanna,
like in high school or like middle school going to Chipotle,
Yeah,
and that shit was gas.
do you want to know why?
What?
It's because McDonald's used to own Chipotle. So when it was good, it was because McDonald's owned it.
I've
Well,
actually
who owns
heard
it
that.
now?
I think they kind of like branched off their own entity.
Hmm.
McDonald's like sold their shares in it and they're just a public company or whatever it is now.
Wow,
Don't quote me. I'm not that smart in that area.
I didn't know, but yeah, I haven't gone to either in a long time, just because.
So what's your go-to for like a cheat meal?
Like a cheat meal.
Yeah.
Locally, Dempsey's.
Dempsey's.
that's
Ooh, Dempsey's is
definitely
fire.
hits.
Burgers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burgers, but I
Dempsey's
can't.
very good.
Whenever I go to like Freddy's or somewhere like burger wise, that's
Yeah.
fast food. I don't get full.
Have you ever tried Five Guys?
Yeah, I have.
That would be my number
I
one
need
burger.
to go. I haven't been there in so
Yeah.
long.
Like I eat burgers all over the place and I keep trying them and I'm like, man, I think Five Guys has the best
I feel
burger
like
I've ever eaten.
everyone says that.
It's kind of the sloppy, juicy like burger,
Yeah.
right? So like
It's really
some of these
good.
other ones are just kind of dry.
It's gonna
Dempsey's-
fill you up better
Dempsey's
than
is pretty much
Freddy's.
the same style.
Yeah, Freddy's
the
just
paper
like
thin.
pounds out
Yeah.
all the juice and
Oh,
like gives
gosh.
you like beef jerky when you're
I'm
eating it
just
almost.
still hungry. I'm like, all right, what's next?
Yeah, I get
It is a little
I get the
dry.
triple one whenever I get Freddy's and it still doesn't fill me up.
You ever been to Fizz?
No,
Fizz is pretty good.
is it
It's
Yeah.
really
local?
It's like
Or
right
like
up
a
the street
chain?
over here. It's literally right up here on 37th.
Uh-uh.
good. This behind us.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, the French fries are a little potatoey, but other than that, it's
A little potato.
a little potatoey. But other than that, it's pretty good. No, me and John been giving Jared shit for that one.
Potatoey. Yeah. I think it was my family didn't like it. They told me how good Fizz was. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this to the test. $77 for my family to eat a Fizz. I'm gonna put this
How much is a burger?
That's a number, not a,
Yeah.
a review, by the way.
It's not a
That's-
review.
That's a
Yeah,
number.
It's like $13 if you're eating there by yourself, like
Yeah.
per person. I would say
This has nothing to do with the food, by the way. You'll notice.
Well, that's kind of
Yeah.
like how
Fair.
Dempsey's is.
I'm not afraid of it. Like
Dempsey's is
pay-
better, by the way.
Dempsey's
about-
is better, yes.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
pay about 66, so about $10 less when we
You
go Five
really know
Guys.
your numbers.
Oh,
when I read them.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
You'll understand when you have kids.
that's how my brain works.
If it
I've
was
got
64, it would've been
66
better.
bucks for there, and Five Guys dominates. But I got Fizz, and everybody was like, "That's not that good."
Mid.
They're like, they didn't want to finish the hamburger. All of them are like, the fries are potatoey, like too bad.
What a great review.
And so-
Well, I'm not gonna waste my cheat meal on that.
Yeah, don't
I-
do it.
I looked now to be fair, they were eating it one day, and I was like, "Damn, that looks good." And I ate some of their fries, and I liked the fries. I think the fries are good. I'm just
Are they homemade?
Yeah.
They're a little thicker cut. They're like thick cut fries.
Dumb
Oh.
thick.
Yeah,
They're
So that's
literally from a
potato-y,
potato.
right?
Potato-y.
Potatoey because it's too thick.
Makes
right?
total
Okay.
sense.
That's
Yeah.
why
That makes sense.
they could combat that by making them extra crispy. Like if they made
Yeah,
them
I
like really
like
crispy.
crispy.
I asked them that, and the girl literally said that their fryer wouldn't go hot enough, and I was like,
It's just longer time.
I don't know.
just
I don't know what to do
liars.
at this point.
I don't know how to
Yeah, I
help
don't-
out.
yeah, I don't-
They just got to understand the customer's always right.
Yeah.
You know, just give you what you want.
I tried to be nice,
I know.
and now I just have soft fries. Like
I
Soft
can't do
fries.
soggy.
Soggy.
hot and crispy are the only two adjectives you need with fries.
Yeah.
Everything else can take care of
The
itself.
Five Guys fries leave something to be desired because they're a little soggy. But
Ask them to overcook them, bro.
I should do that.
Yeah.
They're really good when you first get them, and I eat them like on the way home, and I'm like, oh, these are so good. And then they burn the shit out of your mouth.
You said you cheered in high school, right?
I did
Okay.
in high school. Only 2 years.
So we were in the same I don't know, league, I guess, or
Wait,
whatever.
where did you go to school?
Valley Center.
Oh yeah, we were. In
Yeah.
AVCTL.
Yeah, AVCTL, yeah, something like
Division
that.
2 or something like that.
Yeah. So did you ever come to Valley Center to cheer?
Yeah, basketball games.
You ever have Big Larry's? The burger place?
No.
You never had Big Larry's?
No.
I was-
Anytime you stop for school events, it's always fast food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sonic.
You go straight to McDonald's.
Sonic.
bro.
Oh my gosh, that should be another one. No, I'm not.
Sonic's
into
the worst.
Sonic.
Never
It's
Sonic.
the worst.
Agreed.
I
Never
didn't even want to bring
Sonic.
it up because I didn't want to talk about it. I hate Sonic.
I filled out a
Don't
review.
give them business.
I filled out a review. It's rare. It takes me a lot to fill out a
And I
review
think
for a
it's
company.
I think it's a small town thing because
Yes. It
Sonic
is.
is
Yeah.
in a small town
It
where I
is.
grew up, and it's just now looking back,
If
I
you're
don't
from,
even see Sonics. In
if you're from
Wichita. Where they at?
Augusta,
They're here.
They're around.
Augusta, Garden City,
Newton.
Newton,
Derby.
Arc City,
Stop! You're just throwing out
Sterling.
All the small
like
towns.
all these
Valley
all
places.
Center.
small
Yeah.
towns.
You love.
Dude,
yeah,
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Dude, 8, what was it? Like half price shakes after 8?
Stop it.
Dude,
Stop
the
it.
shakes. The
In a
shakes
small-
are
dude,
definitely
a
dominant.
In a small town, you're
Yeah,
driving
that-
around. What can we do tonight?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
let's go
an
to
event.
Sonic.
That's an event. A small
You
town
know-
event is half price shakes after 8. I'm telling you.
The local place is way better than Sonic. I've been to every one of these little small.
Yeah.
Like Sonic
There's no local
sucks.
place.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
In Arc City, there might be. I don't know.
There's no restaurants in Arc City.
All Mexican restaurants.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
That's probably true.
I remember racing motocross and going to
about that.
Winfield or Wellington, and the only good part about it was that place is the best Mexican restaurant.
That's
amazing
all
chips
there
and
is.
salsa.
Small towns. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you want a nice steak? Sorry, you're going to La Fiesta.
How about some fajitas?
Yeah, that's the closest thing you're getting to a steak.
queso. Yeah.
And welcome to the Nut Club podcast.
Yeah, welcome.
Very nice.
Oh,
The
gosh.
man, so first woman on the podcast. How's it feel?
Really?
Yeah, you are.
I feel honored.
Yeah, you should.
That's
should.
exciting.
Welcome to the Nut Club.
We're breaking gender boundaries here, so we're breaking through the
Absolutely.
walls.
Hopefully we don't say anything too
No,
offensive today.
I can handle it.
Okay, you can. Did you grow up with brothers or anything?
No,
Okay, well, I
but
don't
just
know if
my
you can handle it
family. I can handle it.
then. Okay,
I got it.
okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know.
No,
I'm
we
kidding.
will
I'm
see.
kidding. We're not that bad.
So you're talking about your favorite cheat meals. How many days a week do you do a cheat meal? Is that a pretty common thing? Is one time a week or?
Sometimes I don't do it at all. Just
Really?
because I hate how much it wrecks my digestion. I will feel bad for 2 days
Yeah,
after.
that's true.
And I don't know if it's because I go a little bit too ham and I'm like, all right, this is my one cheat meal for the week, so I'm just going to go ravenous. And then I feel terrible. for 2 days.
Ravenous. So what's a perfect cheat meal to you? What's the perfect, if let's say money or distance wasn't an option, you didn't have to if you drove distance, it didn't make your food cold. You just, it's right there. where you want to
Teleportation.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the place.
So
Captain Picard says, "Beam him up."
Yeah.
Seafood is my weakness.
You like seafood?
Yeah, crab legs,
Really?
lobster,
Lobster.
shrimp.
Have you had a lobster roll? Have you had a lobster roll?
No.
Okay.
No. Actually, I've had a bite.
Okay.
When I went to like San Diego,
I went to Maine
Florida.
with my wife, like September or something.
It was the best.
It was
I've
awesome.
ever had.
But no, like first time I ever had lobster was in Maine. I was like, this is the place to try lobster. And so the lobster roll was like $40 for one sandwich of lobster. And there was a ton of lobster in there.
Okay,
like
maybe that's why.
And I didn't know what I was ordering. So I was like, what do you recommend? You know, and then it's like, oh, I like this sauce and then blah, blah, blah. So I put it on there and it's cold. It's served cold. And swear to God, wanted to throw up whenever I ate it. It was disgusting.
Really?
Yeah. I ate it anyway. I'm a man. And
I
fucking finished my food, damn it. And I ate the whole thing. Nobody's going to look at me and be like, oh, you don't like lobster? I'm in Maine. I'm going to finish the damn thing.
I would have.
What?
That's not something I would just order.
So that's what they're known for. So I was like, I'm going to try it. Like
a cold lobster sandwich.
Like we asked him. I went to High Rollers, which is like, I saw a Barstool review on it. He went to High Rollers.
That sounds disgusting.
And he didn't like it either. So, you know, I got Portnoy on my side here, but it was like, I asked everybody there. I was like, all right, where do we got to go? Like, what do we have to try? Oh, you got to try a lobster roll. Oh, you got to go to High Rollers.
To have like an acquired taste for that.
Yeah, the flavor. It was a texture thing.
I don't want to acquire that.
It was like you bite through it and like it was a little too
chewy
and chewy.
Yeah,
that ruined it.
I think that's the problem with lobster. But I do like it when it's hot and dip it in butter.
Yeah, I've never actually tried it hot. That's my mistake.
Have you ever had crab legs, Jared?
Crab legs are delicious.
Crab legs are
especially in some butter.
Yeah,
very good.
So you'll go get like crab legs and like seafood for your cheat meal.
Be my cheat meal.
Like Red Lobster. Or like
I used to go to Red Lobster all the time.
Yeah, cheesy biscuits.
That was a hit. But for a cheat meal, I would don't take this wrong, but a steak. Like I just want a big, like medium rare steak and sweet potato fries and a Caesar salad and bread rolls.
Okay.
So like a typical steak.
Take her to Texas Roadhouse.
Is that like this is what I want because I get both a cheat and it feels good to eat? Or is that like my taste buds want steak and sweet potato fries? Both of those.
I think both.
Okay.
Just like a medium rare steak, sweet potato fries.
I had a coach once whenever I was competing that so have you heard of the shitload method? That they So shitloading was this method of filling people out before a show.
Oh yeah.
Where they just ate shit.
But ate like burgers
and donuts and like you would cut your water off like, you know, a certain point at the night so you wouldn't spill. And then you would just eat crazy amounts of sodium and carbs and fat shit food. Yeah. And people start looking like a freak. The problem is you miss your window pretty easy and you can really spill or like go in flat a lot. So anyway, he had a method of that called skip loading because the guy's name was Skip, right? And Skip would have me eat high carb refeeds as like what I was doing once a week whenever I was competing. Yeah. And so I would have like a window, like, hey, you got 3 hours or hey, you got 6 hours to eat carbs. And I got to the point where my stomach has been so full, I thought I was going to burst and like throw up and like everything because I just gorged myself on food and things. And it would take me, there were days I would gain 17 pounds of water in the next day or two. I mean, I was like 220 pounds. But it took about to like if I cheated on Sunday, refed on Sunday, it'd be Wednesday. I would hit my my low point again. Thursday I'd be down. Friday I'd be down. Saturday I'd be down. Sunday I would cheat again, and it was just that up and down kind of move, and it worked so well. But that's the cheat meals that I did with that stuff they trained me to gorge myself, and so once you stop bodybuilding. Like that's the downside, in my opinion, of certain cheat meals and like the mentality that I think bodybuilders have.
I think cheat meals are very hard mentally for some people. They just can't control themselves.
Not at all. Not at all.
I've finally gotten better at it, I think.
Yeah.
Just that's why I like to keep it more simple.
Okay.
With like steak and fries or like burger and fries, because then I can't overindulge. Like pizza, I've done that before, and you just want to keep going because you don't get full off pizza as fast as you would a steak. That's more protein and fries. I don't know. I used to do pizza, but
I'm hungry.
Have you ever had Costco pizza?
No.
It's just gas.
Actually is really good. It's good.
Like the big old slices that you get at the section or whatever.
Or the little frozen ones. It's all fantastic.
It's all great.
Shop at Costco.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Like, what are you a deep dish or a thin crust?
No, I think thin.
Thin?
Yeah, thin's
like
good.
Thin
like Pizza Hut, thin and crispy.
Not Pizza Hut. Do not. I think that's another small town.
Yeah, that was my first job.
It's because it's delicious with Pizza Hut. So.
It's not bad.
It's the best chain, is what I'll say about Pizza Hut, in my opinion.
Do they still have the buffet?
Oh yeah.
I don't. Really? Well, that's a small. In the small towns, that's the.
Well, I think after COVID, they shut it down.
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know. I haven't been back.
COVID killed pizza buffet.
That's what I'm saying. That was the best part about it.
They closed a bunch of Pizza Huts literally down.
That's a shame.
It is a shame.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Frank Carney.
R.I.P. America. Like, come
That
on.
sucks. I loved Pizza Hut. Those little red cups, little plastic ones.
I saw
Oh
they're
my
bringing it back.
gosh.
They're calling them like hometown, the classic pizza.
I'm
Pizza
sure
Hut
they
classic. There's a few of them converting to it.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
So tell me a little bit about how you got started, because you've competed in bikini in the bodybuilding.
One time. Twice.
So you've competed
Two
twice.
competitions this year.
And so how long you been training otherwise? How long you been working out?
So I've been with Dan, my coach, which
Yeah.
you guys know. obviously.
Yeah, Dan was on.
Been him.
He was our first guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been with him for almost 2 years. In
Okay.
February it'll be 2 years. Before that, I was working out, just kind of like started in my apartment gym when I was at K-State.
Yeah.
And then I got a job at the K-State Rec Center, and I was like, this is cool. I was watching everybody like working out. I was like, I want to look strong, you know?
Yeah.
Then I kind of went down a more disordered eating way with that.
Okay.
And I was also cheering at the time.
So tell me a little bit about like the disordered eating.
Yeah. So I think just growing up in a competitive sport, especially cheer or
Yeah.
dance or something where you're having to be in smaller clothing,
Yeah.
I feel like it's inevitable to have those issues. There's so many people I know, like everyone I've cheered with, not everyone, but a lot of girls I've cheered with have gone through it.
Yeah.
And just wanting to be smaller. And you're getting thrown up in the air. You don't want people telling you, oh my gosh, you're so heavy. Like,
Yeah.
that's awful. But
For
it
sure.
does happen. So I think that's really what stemmed it. And then when I got to K-State, I was like, I really want to fly, be
Yeah.
one of the top girls. And so I was like, I'm a taller person for
Yeah.
a flyer. And so I knew that I needed to get a little bit smaller. And then
Okay.
if you have that addictive personality, it's like
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I do.
you just want to keep digging and digging and digging until you get smaller and smaller. And then you just can't stop
Yeah.
until you realize.
So was it just you just weren't eating, or
I was eating, but I was like moving so much. I
Okay.
would go on runs for
Okay.
so long.
so just
or
trying to
walk for-
expend as many calories as
Oh,
possible.
yeah.
I gotcha.
It was nutty.
So what was it? So you had that influence of trying to look a certain way for cheer,
Yeah.
and then you go and you start working out at K-State.
Mm-hmm.
And so was it the way you wanted to look that really drove you?
I wanted to be small. I wanted abs. Like I've always
Okay.
had natural abs, regardless if
Yeah.
I tried to diet or not, just genetically wise.
Yeah.
And so I wanted abs so bad.
So let me ask you, who were the people that you were looking at that time period, and they were like your like ideal, body or
Mhm.
inspiration or whatever? Because I grew up with the magazines, and I grew up with
Yeah.
Arnold, and Arnold
Yeah.
was like immediately the guy I wanted to look like, and that's, I think most guys, whenever they grew up watching action movies and Arnold and Stallone and things, they just wanted to be ripped and have
Yeah.
muscles and things so easily.
Well, I started getting on social media, which is the biggest issue, I think.
Yeah.
So I was following like the KK Fit twins. I don't know if you know who they're
Mhm.
Gymshark athletes.
Okay.
A bunch of the Gymshark athletes, I think. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Gymshark at the time for
Okay.
whatever reason. It
Wait.
was super popular back then. I feel
Got a
like
cool logo.
If
I
you're
feel like
if you're
it's
not
kind of
ashamed of
falling
yourself
off.
after you grow up, then you didn't do it right. Like,
Yeah.
You haven't grown up, because everything, I look back at my Facebook statuses and stuff.
oh
like,
my gosh, those are the worst.
So everybody's
Yeah, what's up with
embarrassed
these
of themselves.
reminders, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't want to see anything from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
first of all,
I
who let me
embarrassed
have
myself.
a Facebook at 8 years old? I think I asked my mom.
8 years
That's
old.
great,
Yes,
actually.
I had one at 8 years old because
That's-
that's when you could play like Farmville.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's true.
And all of those weird little games.
I didn't see my dad for 2 years because of that game.
I have it at 15. 15 was when I got Facebook. That was when
He
they
was amazing
allowed
at
it.
it.
So I had Facebook when they
Jim's
moved
getting
it
high
to
level.
anybody could have Facebook. Because
Mhm.
Facebook first came out as like colleges
Age.
only.
What? Oh.
You had to have like a .edu email or they wouldn't let you
Oh,
sign
I
up
didn't
when they
know
first
that.
came out. And then in like 2005, Facebook went to anybody could join
I
from
remember.
high school or something. You could
Yeah,
join.
dude.
And so I joined with high school in 2005, like October 2005 or something like that.
I think mine was
Yeah.
like,
You're like the same time.
Yeah, because I remember I was J Lippy at KSU.edu.
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
so funny. I had to lie about my age. Obviously, I was only 8 or 9 years old when I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right
Just
now,
click
it's,
through it like
says
everyone
I'm
else
like
in the world.
30 or
Right.
something.
Dude, people don't realize it was hard growing up like with the internet. I
Yeah.
used to sell shoes on the internet, so like I still can't use PayPal because they figured I wasn't 18.
Well, that just sounds like due diligence by PayPal.
Yeah.
That's,
I was like,
You
I
guys,
turned 25 in a month and a half. Like, when is my
You guys-
sentence up?
you guys had a tougher time growing up because social media was so early in your life.
Yes.
It didn't come around. Like we had MySpace in middle school, but like there was only a very small percentage of people on MySpace and
I
then
remember
Facebook.
MySpace.
Yeah.
I have an older sister who's 28.
I looked through my photos yesterday, and searching for something, and I found all the staged photos I took of myself when I was like middle school or something.
Yeah. On what phone? That like
it was
BlackBerry?
It was like a digital camera I like set up, and I was like sitting on the couch, like posing almost like
so
like acting like it was a candid shot or something. So
not
I could
even
have
the
some,
BlackBerry yet.
No.
Still the little cameras.
Yeah.
You remember how
just the
cool
little flips.
Blackberries were? Like you were the shit if you had a Blackberry.
Hell yeah, bro.
What's that game on there where you'd play like Brick?
Tetris.
Like
Brick
Block
Breaker
Zork or
or
whatever.
something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it just a version of Tetris?
Snake was good too.
Yeah, that was the old Nokias.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, that's before.
Yeah.
See,
we know.
I feel like you brought up a good point. Like earlier generations had to deal with balancing what they wanted and like kind of what their parents wanted for themselves, and then our generation was the first one to really have to do that, and then plus what social media, like the opinions of social media and like trends and whatnot. Like that. I feel like that added a very
stressful.
Yeah, whole other layer onto it.
And your parents didn't know that social media was going to be such a problem.
No.
Like now I have kids. Like my oldest is 14.
Yeah.
In like a couple weeks, he'll be 14. And they don't have any social media. They get on YouTube and they can post videos on YouTube and stuff. That's about it. But
I want my kids to not be so connected to the phone or
good luck.
iPad.
Yeah, good luck.
There's like 2-year-olds that all they're doing is just
tough.
That's
watching
different.
YouTube
Yeah.
on a.
Those
so
people
much
just
more interesting than us.
That's true. Those people just don't want to parent to a certain
Yeah.
degree. Like you do have to limit those things, and especially if your kid's acting like an asshole, you have to take it away and things like that. And there's, but everybody's going to grow up with their face in a device these days. It's just not going to.
Yeah, it's inevitable now.
Yeah, it's like if you shelter them too much, they're going to go freaking crazy and hide it from you. Is really the biggest thing I can. Yeah. With those strict parents, they're so strict. You just find ways to lie and do it anyway.
It's crazy how much it's changed our world, and in the fitness industry too.
Yeah.
There's so much misinformation online. Who do you trust? Do you get coached by the influencer you see just because they're genetically gifted and jacked? Like, no.
Yeah, it was. So whenever I was growing up, it was the bodybuilding forums.
Yeah.
And so there was admins on the forums that would be like, if somebody didn't know what they were talking about, they would just like bitch slap them and say, you're not allowed to answer this question almost.
Yeah.
But with social media these days, anybody that just looks good, doesn't have any knowledge or anything, they're the ones that everybody's listening to.
There's so many people I follow. They're just genetically gifted. They'll post pictures of themselves from when they were 10 years old and they have ripped abs and already like built.
You see the shoulder caps.
And I'm like, you were genetically blessed. I'm sorry, you may work hard, but you are still genetically gifted.
Yeah.
And there's
not taking
away
from their hard work.
Right.
But if they gave the same effort as somebody else, like they wouldn't look the same.
No.
Right. So
And then they're trying to coach people because they have so many followers because they do look good and everyone wants to do what they're doing. But it's like,
yeah, we talked with Dan just a little bit about this when he was on, and it was that everybody wants to show off those freak clients that they have. Like, I have a client that did a show and never ate less than 300 grams of carbs and only did 2 days of cardio a week and things like that. But those are by far the
outliers.
Yeah, it's not your coaching. That's their body.
Right.
It's just fantastic, and they're they respond to everything really well. And the sad truth is, it's going to be hard for everybody, other than the very few.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that's something I've had to deal with. Just like, stop comparing yourself to even some of the Olympians. Most of the Olympians are genetically gifted.
100% of them are, yeah.
So,
for sure.
And I always sit there and compare myself, and I'm like, just stop.
Yeah, that's tough.
There's people like, the longer you're in it, the more you see how much it affects it. Like there was a girl, Erin Stern. You remember Erin Stern?
Mm-mm.
She was Miss Olympia, I think, figure. And it was years ago, right? But, looking at her story or whatever it is, it's like she goes to her first show, wins, goes to nationals, wins, and then goes and starts competing at a pro level and then becomes Miss Olympia very quickly. And just her body, and it's not like she wasn't working out for a while beforehand, but she's just was ready for those things. Like her body was built with the right shape, held fat perfectly in the way, all those things. That's such a genetic thing. Right. That's I think my thing with bodybuilding the most is that I hated the hardest worker doesn't always win.
And I hate that for my generation moving forward too, because they're looking at these people, looking up to them, thinking, is this attainable for me? Can I get there?
Yeah.
And you try to follow what they do, but it's like, no matter what, you just have to follow your own plan, at your own pace, your own progress,
Yeah. So how do you approach it with a client that comes on board with you?
As far as,
getting them started, say, helping them manage expectations, set the right goals, that kind of thing. Somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, I've never worked out before and I want to do a show.
if they want to do a show, I've only had one reach out to me that has done a show in the past. All of the other ones I have now are more lifestyle athletes.
Yeah. I mean more of like being able to manage what they're expecting. Like people came to me and they're like, okay, I'm ready to do a show. And it's like, I'm going to work out to do a show or something like that. And you have to figure out how to, break it to them the right way, change their view of what they're doing, that kind of thing.
Most of the athletes that I get are all females, close to my age, maybe a little bit older.
Okay.
Some even in their 40s, but they're wanting to build muscle, lose weight, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And just setting in stone small little steps first, because I think if you throw so much at them, like you need to hit your water, you need to hit your steps, you need to hit your nutrition, just starting small. Okay, we're going to start small with these small little changes to your nutrition. So eating more whole foods and then adding in cardio, then adding in the training and things like that, and not just bombarding them, but reminding them that you have to be consistent. I will preach that till I die.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to see the results you want if you're not consistent over and over,
Boringly consistent.
Yes, boring. It's boring. Yeah. It's so boring.
Yeah. Even
I get bored. We all probably get bored, doing the same thing day in, day out.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's where success is made. It's just the repeated action over time. Yep. Yeah. I think discipline, I've just described discipline as just consistent.
Yeah. Same shit, different day. I say that every single day.
No substitute for persistence.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's the realest thing ever.
So can you kind of take us into like, I don't know, like your fears or like emotions going into first show?
Yeah, my fear was not doing good on stage, and I think that I did so good on stage. I think that was my point, my like selling point of me was my stage presence was really good, and I was super nervous for that for whatever reason.
Yeah, like you were going to trip or something.
Like I was going to trip or something.
I know.
Not even be
feeling.
Confident.
Yeah.
But with cheer, I was on stage all the time, so there's really no difference, And
so when you got up there, it didn't feel.
Oh yeah, I just felt. It wasn't even like a second. I don't know. I'd practiced for so long.
Okay.
I think when I got up there, it just clicked. Like muscle memory kicked in.
Yeah, that's definitely the right way to do it. I went up there and I winged it almost every time.
Yeah. Well, sometimes people can do that.
I swear to God, I did it because I would go through the same poses. It'd be like front double bicep, front lat spread, side chest, side try. So I went through this whole like circular routine. So I was just doing that to whatever music played, and so I was just like, all right, let's. I'm not a dancer. I'm not good with music.
You think you could still do it, Jared? Like if we threw on some like, I don't know.
I can do it. It's muscle memory.
Oh gosh.
I would be disappointed by how it looked. I think it's probably the truth there.
Be disappointed.
Yeah. Disappointed for sure in how it looks. I don't keep up the way I used to in that area for sure.
Yeah, that'd be fun. You shouldn't.
No, I had my fun.
Another thing too, I think people see you stage lean, and you don't look like that all the time.
For sure.
You can't have these expectations of you to look like that.
When you're actually going to hurt your progress.
Yes.
Yeah. Like 100%. Way more if you don't allow yourself that time to grow and that time to eat the calories and relax, you're going to cause yourself a bigger problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How does that like affect your body? Like, how does that feel being that lean or getting down to show weight or like, I don't know, like, you said during college, you kind of tried to stay small for cheer and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm sure that had its negative effects on how it made you feel. Like, is it similar to show prep and whatnot?
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit similar, but when I was in college, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no guidance, but I think having a coach definitely telling you what to do with your nutrition and your training and things like that. Because when I was training at K-State, I didn't know what I was doing. I was doing like 50 sets of everything.
Yeah.
You're not going to grow muscle that way.
Yeah.
Definitely different training style for sure.
Yeah.
Not running your body into the ground that way. But as far as getting contest prep lean, definitely still messes with your hormones, especially females.
Yeah.
So just getting my hormones back to an optimal state right now, I would say is my goals. Just when you're that lean, you're so tired. Like I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I have no emotion.
I think the people that don't get that, because there's people like I was telling these guys one time with the shows, it was always like the 3-4 week out point, like energy just drops. And that truly is where a lot of these guys really make the difference and when energy drops. But some people don't notice that. I worked with plenty of people that are like, no, I feel great.
It's like, no, you
Yeah.
really probably should feel like shit.
You should.
If you're really wanting to be competitive.
So let me ask you this.
I know that's unhealthy, but
Sounds fun.
it's part of the sport. You know?
It's just how the sport goes. The sport's not a healthy sport. Like,
no,
I think
it's not.
you look
Good for
into
you for saying that. I think that's
you
true,
look into
too.
bodybuilding. There's nothing
Yeah.
about bodybuilding that's healthy. When you're dieting to that level of Venus, hormones get
Really
affected.
good point.
You think about all of the performance enhancing drugs that people
Yeah.
are using across the sport. I mean, in bodybuilding especially, not as much in bikini, but there's plenty in bikini
Right.
that are still using different drugs and things like that to get lean or to put on a little bit of muscle or something like that. So it's not a healthy sport by any means, but
No.
but it's a sport. That's the point. Like, it's about winning. It's not so much about health. You know, people go into football and it's like, what if you
It's
break
definitely a competition.
what if you break your leg? Like, well, that's part of the game, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I might break my
Right.
leg. I might tear my ACL. You know, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, I might get a concussion. But that's just the name of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sacrifices must be made.
For sure.
What I don't like, you know, obviously in like contact sports there's obvious like risks and whatnot, but what have been the biggest detrimental things you guys run into like with bodybuilding? Was it just the energy thing? Is that what you would say? would be the worst one?
Overtraining too.
Yeah.
You can get hurt overtraining. So doing more sets than you're supposed to. And just not recovering properly for sure.
Yeah.
You can get hurt.
Why
that
is the
way.
recovery so neglected? I hear everyone talk about it, and it just seems to be
Because
Talk.
you're chasing a goal is what I would say. You're chasing a goal.
Right.
So you get under the mindset where if I do more work, I can reach that goal faster. But there's only so much work you can do with bodybuilding. You have
does
to rest.
recovery not work?
What do you mean?
Like just like that, taking the time to recover is what I'm saying.
It's hard, especially
Yeah.
if you're doing, 2 hours of cardio a day. When I got the last couple of weeks of prep, when I was going from my first show to my second show, I wanted to get leaner. And so I was doing 2 hours of cardio a
Yeah.
day,
Mhm.
and I was just dead. And
Absolutely.
you're not recovering. You're not building muscle at that point. You're just getting lean.
But I think the reason people don't rest or recover properly is just because of the mindset of just more.
Yeah.
It's like 1 pill works, 2 pills is better. If 3 days of the gym are good, 5 days are better. If 5 days are good, 7, I have to go every day. And then
Yeah.
people just don't leave the recovery time for themselves. I think people overtrain more often when they're in bodybuilding than they undertrain.
Yeah.
They neglect recovery. Recovery is I feel like the most important thing for actually building muscle. People
Right, and maybe that's what I'm
neglect.
trying to say. Is I hear that so often. There's no one. You rarely see anyone in the sauna on Instagram. I've seen plenty of cold plunges.
There's a lot of cold plunges.
yeah, but I don't know. Maybe there's more of an emphasis coming on recovery.
There's a big emphasis. There's been a lot on foam rolling and stretching and active
It's not
recovery
as sexy,
and
to
mobility.
be fair. I get that.
Sauna,
Like,
cold
it's-
plunge.
Yeah.
I like sauna. Cold plunge is a little different. I'm just like a little bit of a baby when it comes to that.
I completely understand. And there's a difference.
You
I'll
don't
say
have to do
this.
cold plunges.
It depends on the time of the day that you do a cold plunge. Because if you're going to get
You
up,
gotta do it in the morning.
if you do it first thing when you wake up, like you're still cold. Like I wake up and I get in the shower and I'm like turning it on hot because I'm like still warming up in the morning.
Yeah.
So if you go get in the cold plunge right then, it's going to be miserable. But if I do
But
it
that's
after,
what makes you more resilient.
that's
throughout
true. That's
the rest
true.
of the day,
Yeah.
But it's hard because you will be cold for a while. I did a
Absolutely.
cold plunge at Dan's
Yeah.
a couple months ago, and I was cold for, I don't know, probably the rest of the day.
Yeah.
just trying to get back warm. But
Yeah.
it's supposed to boost your metabolism.
How did you
Cold.
you feel after you did it?
I felt good, honestly. It was good.
Hmm.
It was during prep too, so
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be colder during prep
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's probably why you couldn't get warm. It's just
yeah, that too.
no body fat to
Mhm.
insulate you in the first place.
It happens. I don't know. Like I've never been a cold plunge kind of guy. Like I'm always like a sauna or
Mhm.
like extremely hot bath kind of guy, like Epsom salt, just because I've always had low body fat. So
Yeah.
those cold plunges.
Yeah,
they
they're
take a toll on me.
rough.
They take a toll on me. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what you would tell people who might be on the fence on getting into their first bodybuilding show, or like
Yeah, based off you learned a lot in your first experience,
Right.
right? So like what are the tips somebody going into it? What would you tell somebody like I'm thinking about doing a show?
I would tell them to not rush it. There's no hurry. The stage is always going to be there.
Yeah.
Is what I would say. Do you have everything set in stone to even compete? Is your nutrition 100%? Has it been 100% for over a year?
Yeah.
Because I know when I first came to Dan, I was like, I want to compete soon. He was like, no, like you're not ready. You've never even had a month of consistency with your nutrition. You're not doing that. You haven't trained. You don't know what it's like to train hard to failure. So I would just say those things, learning how to train properly, consistently hit your food, recovery, all of that,
What are the things that somebody might not be expecting that already does those? They're like, okay, I got my nutrition. I've been following a diet. Maybe it's not perfect.
Yeah.
I feel like I train hard. What am I in for?
Just the extra mile that you have to, the extra prep, I would say that you have to go, especially if you're someone who has a job. You've got to prep your meals in advance. You got to do your cardio in the morning. You got to train at night. You just have to have that consistent schedule, routine. I would say routine.
Yeah.
You need to have a routine, morning, night, all of that.
Just the sheer level of commitment that you have to make.
Commitment for sure.
Yeah.
You gotta have that mental toughness to be like, all right, I'm going to do this day in, day out for the next however many weeks.
Do you feel that helped change your mental toughness and helped change your mind whenever you were doing it?
I think I've always been a little bit mentally tough more than, and I'm not going to say more than everybody, but more than a lot of those around me. When I have a goal in my head, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
There's no going back,
Yeah. What are your goals?
For the year.
I'm putting you on the spot. Yeah.
You're putting me on the spot.
I know. That's why it's fun.
I think that's my issue is I have too many goals. Like I will tell my mom or my boyfriend, I'm like, I'm going to read 25 books this year. And then I've already read 7 and we're still in January.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I think I'm going to read 50 books.
Yeah.
Or I'm just random little things. And they're like, slow down. Like you never just take time to just breathe and chill out. And I don't. So I think that's another one of my goals is just see where life takes me. I can't plan every single thing out.
Yeah. I feel you on that one because I'm a similar type of personality.
Yeah.
Where I think when you see that there's so much to achieve and attain and learn and absorb, like you want to do it all. Right.
I want to do it all. I want to grow my coaching because I coach under Dan, like with Dan, a part of Team Icon. I want to grow my roster there. I want that to be my full-time job. I don't want to have to rely on this other job that I have now.
Yeah.
To provide my necessary needs to be able to live, So growing that and just making a difference in the lives of others, helping them grow.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Learn the discipline, transform their body.
Right. And then just continuously learning. No one ever knows too much.
Sure.
I think that's the beauty of life. We can never be too smart. There's always something to be learned.
Yeah. What are the areas that you're most interested in learning? Throw me the weird stuff first.
The weird stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like
you're reading books. Like what's the weird books?
I feel like just as far as bodybuilding goes, just every little thing.
Yeah.
I want to learn about gut health more.
Yeah.
Ozempic. I don't know.
We've talked about
Ozempic on here.
Yes. I don't know. It's so crazy. A lot of my family members, not to throw them under the bus.
Yeah. I mean, it's
what's
really,
wrong with it?
It's really popular.
It's just a drug, right?
Yeah. It's
just like ibuprofen.
FDA approved,
Just learning the little weird niche things.
Yeah.
Like that I come across.
Yeah.
Nothing in specific, I would say.
Yeah. Just interested in the body and how the body works and how to manipulate it and things like that. Yeah, I get that.
Because everyone's body is so different. I want to be able to help everyone I can.
Yeah.
Well, everyone is so different, and what works for one person does not work for somebody else.
So let's break it down for people then, though. What are the consistent things that everybody needs? Like we talk about them, everybody hears them, but you have big rocks. You talked about, when you start with a client first, let's start with some whole foods.
Yeah.
And then you talked about adding in a little bit of cardio and things like that. So what are the big rocks? Because I think a lot of people will focus on what's the perfect diet, or something like that. The wrong thing. We will focus on the micro details and which supplement do I need to take?
Yeah. And it's supplements I know we all love supplements. But
I love supplements, but I'm not afraid to tell them.
Supplements should be our last thing that we focus on,
Supplements work best whenever you have your diet and training under control. Yeah. And so you'll get the most results. So my goal is always to help people understand their diet and training better because if they do, they're going to keep taking my supplements because they're going to keep seeing the results.
Right.
But if they can't figure out the basics, the foundational pieces, my supplements are not going to do everything for them. Right. So we have to show them those kind of things. But, You know, what other kind of things would you throw in there? I know it's a
Yeah, people are always asking me how do I even start?
Yeah.
Most people aren't even drinking enough water in a
Yeah.
day. Like maybe we'll drink like one of these and they're like, "Oh, I've drank my water for the day."
Yeah.
So I think majority of people are just severely like dehydrated,
Yeah.
don't move, have a sedentary job. You got to get up, you got to get moving.
okay.
Sunlight,
Everybody-
sleep.
Everybody can drink water. You
Yeah,
know, throughout so it's such a small thing, right?
so
So if you wanted
easy.
to make a change today, like the easiest change you can make is just drink some water.
Water.
Right? Because I think there's a lot of people that want to start Monday.
Mhm.
You know, today's Friday. Everybody wants to start Monday.
Yeah.
And so the weekend they're going to take off. But like, you know, if you start today, drink water. That's you're starting at least, right?
Small little step.
Yeah. Small little step. So the next one was
Steps, move, get
steps.
up,
Okay.
move your body.
Okay.
I think people are so sedentary.
Yeah.
You can scroll on your phone, you can watch TV, you can do whatever you want to do while you're walking, while you're moving.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So just stay up, get more active. Okay. Next
Get
one.
more active.
What's
for
the next?
sure. Whole foods.
Yeah. Whole foods. Just simply
limit your processed foods.
Okay. Which angle do you come at that from? Would that be a gut health or a calorie restriction, or how do you look at it?
I would say more gut health.
Okay.
Because a lot of people have gut health issues and they don't even know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if your insides are not working properly, you're not going to make any progress physically.
And so I think a lot of people don't necessarily see that point with whole foods. A lot of people are, because the macro trend was so popular for so long that I don't think people see how whole foods are more than just calorie restriction a lot of times. And that's just, quote unquote, healthy eating or something. But there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, obviously, like calories in, calories out.
Yeah.
People say that all the time. Most people that works, but for some people that do have other issues, that's not always the case.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whole foods, stop buying super packaged, processed things.
Yeah.
Which I do still, just because some things don't necessarily mess with my
What's
gut.
your favorite processed food?
Bagels.
Bagels.
Dave's Killer Bread bagels.
Okay.
All right.
They're organic.
Yeah.
Everything is like organic oil, organic.
Yeah. Exactly.
Whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully that matters.
Dude, I was literally just thinking, I was like, you know what? Which doesn't have any good bagel places?
I get the Dave's Killer Bread and the white bread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's pretty good. My kids eat it.
Like the Dave's Killer. I think it doesn't mess with my gut either, so I'm like, I'm gonna keep eating it.
I think that's what people probably should realize a little bit more about the types of foods that they eat. It's not so much like there's a healthy versus an unhealthy food.
Yes.
It's kind of like, how do you feel when you eat it?
Yes.
If you feel good when you eat it, then it's probably fine.
Right.
You know, something that you could fit into your diet in some way.
A lot of people like want to restrict on certain things, but if it's sitting well in your stomach, you're fine.
Yeah.
There's no need to stress about it.
I agree. Next step. What's the next step?
Next step. Exercise. Introduce it if you don't have it. And you don't even have to go every day. You know?
Yeah.
Some people think I need to go 5 days a week. I need to go hard. Just start small.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to jump right in.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
I find a lot of people, they overestimate what they're going to do
Mm-hmm.
and how long the workout's going to take and how much, effort they're going to put through, and they're going to go 5 days a week, and all of a sudden they're burned out.
Yeah.
And they don't go anymore. So I would agree. I would say, start small, even in exercise.
Yeah.
If it's 2 days a week, like I'm happy for 2 days a week for somebody, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are just not even doing anything. And, there is something to be said. You mentioned earlier, like learning how to train to failure, learning how to push hard.
Yeah.
But for those people, like that's not the problem yet. Like that's like those advanced tactics that I talk about. I'm like, that's like an advanced thing.
Yeah.
But like the basics is get there, go through the motions, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And if you still are lost, get a coach.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with having someone help you.
Yeah.
Even the elite of the elite, like
For sure.
Like Dan, he has a coach.
Yeah.
Even though he's pros have coaches.
Yeah, for sure.
So everyone can benefit from one.
I agree. How do
just for the accountability standpoint,
Yeah. How do people find you? Whenever if they wanted to check out your stuff, look at your Instagram.
Most people
contact
find
you.
me through Instagram. I would say they're like, I saw you on Instagram. I liked your stuff, and
What kind of stuff do you share on Instagram?
I feel like I share a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be more diverse, trying to talk to the audience more. I feel like that.
Probably good.
Do you feel like your marketing background has kind of helped with like your online coaching and whatnot?
Yeah, for sure. I would say. So I do have a marketing degree.
Okay.
Yes. And my actual job that I have is a social media marketing job.
Yeah.
But I would like to just do coaching full time because I do like it. But I think that marketing has helped me just grow my online presence for sure on Instagram. Consistently posting, I think, helps me get the following I have now.
Yeah.
It's gone down quite a bit just because I haven't been as up to it as I was in college when I had free time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, life's a bitch, you know.
Yeah. It really is.
You get busy and then you can't do all the things you used to. Yeah.
Then you have kids.
And then kids come in. And it's even less. For sure.
I'm not ready.
So Instagram, what's your Instagram handle?
health.with.hads.
There you go. All right. So if you're interested in following, you can go on, follow Hadlea here. Contact her if you're interested in coaching.
Hads,
so do you just work with women?
Icon. No.
Okay.
I actually trained a male in person over the summer and like last spring. So I was doing a little bit of in-person training, which was cool. But I kind of figured out I like the online coaching better.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit. You can still communicate that way. Great too. I have all of my athletes send me training videos every week so you can see, is your form good? You know, are you going till failure? Is your intensity there? And sometimes starting out, athletes don't understand that.
Yeah.
Are you looking around when you're training? Like, no, we need to be locked in zone. So just little things like that. And
I found I had trouble with women specifically that didn't play sports. Women that didn't play sports didn't know how to push themselves. Like they stop when the pain starts.
Yep.
And like girls that played sports, they knew a little bit more. Like they'd experienced that or something like that.
Yeah.
But that was the hardest part, I think, of getting the right girls that haven't had that experience. Like, hey, you got to keep going. Yeah, it hurts. I know. That's part of the trick, though. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Well, awesome. I think you guys have any other questions?
I think that covers it for us.
Yeah. Anything you want to say to the raving fans out there?
No, I don't think so.
You should subscribe to the Nut Club podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, subscribe to this podcast. Subscribe to my YouTube channel that I haven't posted on for a year.
There you go.
Just great shout out.
Follow her on Instagram, Health with Hads.
Yeah, follow me, Health with Hads. If you need a coach, someone that's going to help you, get you in the right direction.
Yeah.
I got you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
This was good. We always say thanks for cranking one out with the Nut Club.
So. Yeah, and this is my first ever podcast, so.
Yeah, awesome. Hey. Well, you did great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Appreciate it.
This was good.
Awesome.
I hope I didn't say like too much.
No,
no, you didn't.
You did great.
Okay, because usually I do, and I'm like, stop. See, I just did it right there.
I think it's in people's speech so much nobody notices. Yeah. I didn't hear it.
Okay, I probably did do it though a lot.
We can edit it out.
Yeah. Everybody.
No, don't edit it.
Everybody's so critical of themselves. That's just how it is. No, you did awesome. It's that is the hardest part though, is always just like second guessing yourself.
Wait, I have one more thing. I'm a NutriAuthority athlete, so be sure to go through my code. Code HADS.
We always post up this Nut Club code. We had one person use it, I think, so far.
Really?
One person. Yep. I was like,
well, thank you guys for cranking one out the Nut Club.
Yes.
That's right.
I didn't look at the camera one time. Oh,
that's okay.
Gosh. That's fine.
Bye.